He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। So good evening everyone, and good morning to the people on the other side. So here we are with another Q&A session. So what I see is only Chidvilas raised his hand, but now I think like he has got his answers. Okay, so Chidvilas, please go ahead.
Yeah, Chidulas, please unmute yourself.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskar.
So recently I had this question ki when we say that devatas reside in their lokas,
Okay.
so uh, are they in their energy form or are they in their form which we think they are, that is their humanoid form?
Okay.
Because there comes questions like their servants make things for them and then they use it, and then the thing is when they have to use it they have to be in a human form, but the question is why would they be in a human form in their loka without being in their pure energy form there?
Okay. Okay.
And then when we say ki their servants or their her people or his people do things, what are they even doing?
Okay.
Because we refer uh, the things that they use, we refer it with a solid things. So when they are in an energy form, what would they even do? Because it is something that they usually deal with in a solid form. So how are actually devatas in their lokas? And then what that loka really means?
So it was one question or 100?
Don't know, Mahadev.
So coming to understand it is a very simple form, is like whether there is something called as a Devaloka and whether they are in a form or not. Are they in the physical form or any other form? What are they exactly doing there? And then what is the need of it as well?
Yes.
Okay. So the answer to the question that you has kept first is, do the even devatas are available in their locus? Absolutely yes. What is their form? The form is not just in this flesh and blood that you see. Now, when you look at the moon, right, जिसे हम चंद्रमंडल कहते हैं, or the sun, the सूर्य मंडल or the चंद्रमंडल, वेदों में भी चंद्रमंडल का व्याख्या है. Okay, so there is a mention of Chandramandal in our Vedas as well. But the Chandramandal that they are talking about is above the Surya Loka. Surya Mandal ke pare Chandramandal hai. So what you are looking at is not exactly the thing that you are able to see it. Whether, so that means there are different realms. That was the first answer. There are different realms which is visible to the eye and which is not visible to the eye. There are so many things in this world itself which you cannot see, hear, touch, feel, or experience them. Right? Is it true or not?
Yes.
Very simplest of the example is the ultraviolet rays. You cannot see them. You need special devices to see. So one thing is very clear, that there are multiple universes moving simultaneously. One is visible, one is not visible. जैसे मैंने चंद्रलोक या चंद्रमंडल के बारे में बताया. Now, when you look at the Surya Mandal, the Surya that you are seeing, is it really the Surya Mandal? No, it is not. It is just a ray of the Surya Mandala. How can I say that? Again, go refer to the knowledge that is already available. It is said the sun that we are seeing is not the real sun, but the reflection of one of its horses, which is getting created as the sun for this planet. It is not even sun. It is a reflection of one of his horses. That is, 7 horses are there. There are 14 lokas that we keep on saying of.
Yes.
So the 7 upper lokas are the light spaces.
Yes.
And below that are the dark spaces. So all these 7 lokas, when we are talking about the above lokas, they are actually the reflection of the horses of the sun that he is riding, the chariot. अब समझ में आ रहा है? सूर्य क्या उताप means, when I am talking about the Surya Mandal here, the sun itself is on the chariot. It has, you all know that, and it has 7 horses. Now that is where the answer is coming from. That the above 7 lokas are the light lokas. That's where the 7 lokas has the reflection of the sun, not in the direct form. The sun is a physical form. I will come to that also. So you see the sun as a physical form, means as a painting or a drawing, whatever you have seen. Because when I say horse, you have an image of a horse in your mind. But what I'm saying is, for all the 7 lokas that we are in, the reflection of the sun is falling on the horse, and that reflection of the horse which is falling on the planet, and in the center of the planet there is one light on which it is falling, and due to that we are able to see the sun for our planet. That itself indicates there are 7 realms. There are different lokas. Are you seeing the second sun here? Are you able to see that? No. Again, apart from that, there is a mention that every planetary system that we are in, means this solar system that we are looking forward to, or the Akash Ganga that we are part of, it has a dome over it, a layer just like the ozone layer. Okay. And you being a student, you know that when it is a dome, it reflects separately. When the dome is a little flat, it will reflect separately. So here it is also mentioned that when the sun rays are falling, it is not circular everywhere.
Yeah.
It is based on the covering that our loka has. Due to that, we are able to see the sun in one form. Okay, so that gives you the second answer, that okay, there are different lokas. For example, the sun, and the sun is not even directly reflecting on us. All the 7 horses are reflecting back, and that's how we are only able to see a glimpse of the ray of that sun through the horses. Now, you should think what the horses are made of. How can the horse absorb the light of the sun and then reflect it back? Now, this itself is mind-boggling. Because as of now, you were thinking that sun is the only source and through which you are getting the light. Now I am saying it is not the sun itself. And whatever I am saying, you will find it in writing. ये सब लिखा हुआ है. And it is available also for you to read. Okay? So यहाँ पे समझ में आ जाना चाहिए कि there are varieties of lokas. Some we can see, some we cannot see, some we knew in a form, but the form is not the truth. Now, when I'm talking about the sun, you might have gotten a clarity on both of this by now. Right? Did you understood as if now what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can you see what you think as your mind can perceive is not perceivable?
Yes.
ये उससे कई गुना परे है जो हम जान भी नहीं सकते. Now, because of your questioning, we are able to answer you in a certain pattern. But it itself, if you go and think, oh my God, like this is not the sun, then the sun is rotating on a chariot. That chariot has 7 horses. Those 7 horses are absorbing the light of the sun, and they are so bright that they are reflecting. One ray of that is falling on our planet, and we are getting to see that sun. अब सोचो, जब हम कहते हैं कि एक भगवान सहस्र सूर्य भांति दिखता है. Now think of what it would be. We are not just able to see a ray of the sun that is just reflected from the horse. Now just think of what that sun would be, and thousands of that sun coming together. So that itself clarifies that there are different realms that are existing. And in every different realm, you need, just like every state needs a minister, every kingdom needs a king. Agreed? So different realms, you need different kind of deities that rule over that. इसी से पता चल जाता है कि हर देवी देवता का एक लोक है. Now, when you go to the Bhagavad Katha, when Brahma was arrogant and he came to Krishna, right? And he said, मैं ही ब्रह्मा हूं, मैंने तुम्हें बनाया है. Then what did he do? He called upon millions and millions of Brahma at one go. बोले इसमें से कौन से जगह का ब्रह्मा तू है? From where have you come from? That itself indicates that there are millions and millions of creation which is not visible to us. Right? One fine day, there is a talk. Arjuna was asking Krishna that are there truly multiverses? And you know them all? Then Krishna laughed at him and he said, okay, what do you see in front of you? And what he saw was a jamun ka ped, right? Jamun tree, you know. What do you call that in English? That purple color, that black and purple, if you bite it, it comes a purple color within that, right? Jamun.
Yeah.
I just missed out like what, I know the English name of that, I just missed it out. लेकिन जामुन का जो पेड़ है ना, there was a jamun tree in front of him. So Krishna says, oh, so that's a jamun tree. Okay, yeah. Go closer. Kala jamun, yes, exactly. But there is an English name to that. I'm not getting it. It is not blackberry, I believe. So he goes closer. So as he goes closer, he sees those small fruits hanging from the tree. He says, yeah, I see the fruits. He says, look closely. Suddenly, when he looks closely into that, he sees the face of Krishna in every jamun. And then Krishna says, what happened? What are you seeing? He said, I am seeing you in every Jamun. He says, no, no, don't stop there. Go closer. He goes further closer and he sees like there are other planetary moving in that. Planets are moving in that single fruit. That is this much like a handful of space. There is a, what did you see? No, I'm seeing, saw you first and then I'm seeing the universe going. He said, go closer. And as he was going closer and closer and closer, finally he saw a small little Krishna and Arjuna standing together and they are all both looking at him. And he said, now tell me, do I know? And are there multiple verses or not? And then Arjuna ran back and he said, I understood, I don't have any further questions. But one thing I realized, he said, what? That it is not only you who is everywhere, I am also everywhere. Krishna says, that's what I want you to know. That's what you should realize. It's not only me, it is you also with me everywhere. So that is the realm, that there are multiple realms. What we see is not exactly available to us. There are so many things that we cannot see. Third thing is they are in a form. Arjuna saw the same image of himself there.
Yes.
What does that indicate? There is a form to the Devi and Devatas. Now I will give you a very typical answer. I'm speaking over the camera, but let me tell you. Bala Tripur Sundari, right? And बाला त्रिपुर सुंदरी किसे कहते हैं? जो 8 साल की बच्ची की तरह है, वो बाला त्रिपुर सुंदरी है. Sodasi, जो 16 साल की है. त्रिपुर सुंदरी, that is older than her, means in her young age, beyond her Sodasi, means beyond 16. So 3 तरीके की देवियां हैं. चतुर्थ है जो अब Sodasa Bhairavi. Right? Especially in Kamakhya region, you will find her very easily. Okay. So have you heard of a Rakshasa named as Bhandashur? You know what Bhandashur is? Bhandashur is none other than when Shiva was in deep meditation and Parvati was doing her tap to get Shiva, then Kamdev comes, throws a arrow towards Shiva, and out of his anger he comes out and burns down Kamdev. So the ashes that were left out of Kamdev, one of the Shiva's Ganas made an image out of it. And when the image came into life, Shiva looked at the image and it was so good. Shiva breathed life into it. And in that moment, he started singing a beautiful hymn on Shiva, praising Shiva. Shiva was so happy that उसको वरदान देते हैं. लेकिन जैसे वो इतना सुंदर गाता है, like the way he was describing Shiva, Shiva shouted out, Bhand. Bhand means that is a way of singing that is not known. A very beautiful way of singing means जैसे वाह वाह करते हो ना, वैसे वो शिव ने कहा भांड भांड करके कहते हैं, and in that moment उसका नाम पड़ता है भांड. But later on he said that wow, Shiva actually praised me, and it entered into his mind. And now he started doing tapasya, got powers, but ultimately became a Rakshasa, Bhandasur. Now Bhandasur, what he did is, he started attacking the Swargaloka. And then once surrounded the Swargaloka completely, and he was about to throw out Indra from the Loka. In this moment, out of fear, Indra called upon Narada. Now you will understand why I was telling that entire story to you. Now Narada comes and like Indra asked, Bhandasur is going to destroy everything. What is the way out? Now what I am going to tell might raise your eyebrows. Narada suggested that in order to kill the demon, Bhandasur, you have to invoke the energy of Devi Tripura Bhairavi. And if you want to invoke Devi Tripura Bhairavi, you have to provide your flesh and blood. Now, this is where I said your eyebrows will go up. And there, Indra himself, now you understood what I am saying as a flesh and blood means. It also has a figure. It is also something that is available. It is in form. Now in that space, अगर आप जाके पढ़ोगे ये सारी चीजें available है. And then it is said that Indra actually provided flesh and blood to awaken the Devi, Tripura Bhairavi. And when Tripura Bhairavi came into fight, you know what Bhandasur did? Bhandasur was one and a unique kind of a fighter. He changed his rupas and called upon different Rakshasas that have already been killed before him. First, he called upon Hiranyakashipu ka bhai tha na, Hiranyaksh. He called upon Hiranyaksh. When he became Hiranyaksh and started fighting, Devi took the form that killed Hiranyaksh and she killed Hiranyaksh that very moment. The moment Hiranyaksh was killed, Bhandasur took the form of Ravana. And then Devi took the form of Rama to kill that Ravana. And that is how a series of Rakshasas came into play, and Devi took form of every Rupa and killed the Rakshasa finally. Now, in one answer, I have given so many answers to your questions. What I said is, there have been historical events. From that history, he has the power to bring that character back into the present. How can you bring something from the past to the present? Not possible, right? But if that is happening at the same time in a different loka, then are you getting that? So now we are understanding time and space. So when you understand time and space, the time and space is not exactly everything everywhere same. No, even in this world, we are sitting here, it's 9:25 p.m. for us. But if you go in US, it's absolutely daytime. That means time is different as per the space. That means for many planets that are actually rotating in the Akash Gangas or even in the space that we even don't know, some are along with us, some are ahead of us, some are behind us. Got it? So that means it indicates that there are lokas, there are multiverses, there are devatas and devis in form, because that's where, if without form, from where you would get the flesh and blood.
Flesh and blood.
And now, let me shock you again, because it is in flesh and blood, it will die someday. नश्वर है. Are you getting that? आप मुझे पूछ सकते हो कि अरे वो कैसे नश्वर हो गया. अच्छा, तो ब्रह्मा का दिन कैलकुलेट कर लो. So you know that there is something called as 1 day of Brahma, and 100 days after 100 years of Brahma विलीन हो जाता है, नया ब्रह्मा बनता है. विलीन हो जाने का मतलब क्या है? So are you getting the understanding how huge that things are, that even it is not conceivable. मतलब आप इसे सोच भी नहीं सकते. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये ब्रह्मा का दिन और रात हो रहा है, मतलब उसका भी शरीर है. खाली शरीर नहीं है, वो जहां पे है वहां पे भी दिन और रात हो रहा है. That means he has taken birth and will end somewhere, and a new Brahma will appear. So आपके कितने सारे आंसर आ गए इसमें? So form is there, the form is there, and the form will also go through the process and will destroy itself, and then a new thing will form. Right? कर क्या रहे हैं? बता दिया क्या कर रहे हैं. जैसे मैंने कहा, you are now, some are moving along with you, some are ahead of you, some are behind of you. Now coming back to this loka, यहाँ तक clear है, or it is heavy stuff?
But like, no, Mahadev, just a little one question in between.
Yes.
That is, then what's the thing about Amrita here? Because we generally refer that Devatas take Amritas to become eternal.
Beautiful. So let me tell you that also. Amrita of which loka, which yuga, which manvantara are we speaking of? And does Amrita exist or not? You don't even know. So I will answer that also. Abhi, when you are asking me that what was the fight for Amrita all about? Fight for Amrita was all about that so that they can become,
Immortals.
let me ask you a question, logical one. For you, what is immortality? As a human, what would you call as immortality? कितने साल जीने से आप बोलोगे इमोर्टल हो गए हो आप? 100 साल, 1000 साल, 5000 साल, 1 लाख साल, 10 लाख साल, कितने साल जीने से आप बोलोगे आप इमोर्टल हो?
Probably till the existence ends.
Right. Which existence I am now asking you?
Maybe for a human being, it is Earth, maybe.
Yeah. So down the line, you are in the half of day of the Kali Yuga. The other half, when it ends, you will die. Are you understanding? Whenever we are talking about time space, the limitation always appears. Now think of a ant. If it lives 70 years,
Oh.
it is immortal. Isn't it? So now it is again comparing the immortality is compared to the yuga. Now if somebody has taken the immortality in the Satyuga itself, is it not more for him? Because he will go through all the 3 yugas next also. But if somebody is taking immortality now, it's just a half a day left of Brahma. Are you understanding? So that's where I come from. That's where the answer says immortality is again a game of space, time, location, realms. Based on that time zone, you decide whether he is immortal or not. समझ में आया? Now let me tell you Amrit.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll give a live example so that you can get a glimpse of that also. What is Amrit? Amrit is the elixir of life. Once you drink it, you will be immortal for that time frame. Now you understood that. Now something is starting called as the Kumbh. What is Kumbh Mela?
I heard maybe a few drops of Amrita fell into the
Yeah,
river
when
this
Mohini
time.
Avatar was there, then after that, when Jatayu was taking and he kept it at places, and there a few drops of that fell off, and that's what this is called as the Kumbh, and
Kumbh.
then it is called as the Kumbh Mela. Right?
Yes.
But I have a very typical question actually. I don't end here. I want to ask certain things. People keep on asking, is it really possible to be immortal? And let me answer yes. Any examples? I'll give you very blatant example. Everybody will be like, your ears will be up now. Listen to me carefully. So we all know that when we are going to start the Kumbh Mela, the major contribution of the crowd will come in the form of Naga sadhus. Yes? बहुत सारे साधु होंगे, but the main cult that we see there, people go to see there are the Naga sadhus, right?
Yes.
How many Naga sadhus will be there? It will be lakhs, don't worry. Okay? That's not my question. When the Kumbh Mela happened, NASA actually took a graphical notation of the particular area population of that time. And it was nearly 13 crores on that day. 13 crore. Okay. So that's not even the question whether you know that or not. But my question is very simple for all of you. सारे लोगों के लिए. और अगर मैं गलत हूं तो मुझे अभी बताना. You let me know, because I want to even check whether I'm wrong or right. So there are a few lakhs of sadhus that come, Naga sadhus. It is truth or not? Truth. So all the other stories are there. That is said, the first sadhu that appear, it is Shiva himself. And then they all go to the Sahisnan. Everybody comes out. One will not come out. If you take the count also, that's the story goes on. But that's not my question. My question is very simple. Okay, so lakhs of sadhus are there. Right? From where did they came from is the question. The answer is okay. So they must be residing in forest, mountains, ranges, गुफाओं में, तंद्राओं में छुपे रह के साधना करते होंगे. वहां से आए. Okay, I agree to that also. But my question to every one of you, have any one of you seen them coming in a bus, train, aeroplane, walking, chariot? No? पक्का ना, नहीं देखा किसी ने? Are you 100% sure what you are saying? But you are saying lakhs of people are there, but nobody saw them. How they came? How they came? How did they came? Think, because if you think, everything will boggle within your head. ये कैसे हो सकता है? लाखों लोग आए, कहां से आए किसी को नहीं पता. That's what I am saying. You asked me, na, locus? From where did they came? कोई चल के नहीं आया, देखा नहीं किसी ने. कोई बस में नहीं आए, कोई ट्रेन में नहीं आए, कोई फ्लाइट में भी नहीं आए. तो कैसे आए? और अचानक सुबह सारे दिखते हैं. And you still don't understand the power. My goodness. This is something so spectacular to observe, isn't it? That is the major point when you should realize what teleportation is all about. And it's not happening 1, 2. It is happening in lakhs and thousands. Now, can you tell me teleportation is not truth? जो सूक्ष्म स्वरूप में ट्रैवल करना जानते हैं. Now people always keep on asking, is it really possible? उनको ये क्वेश्चन पूछ लेना, उनका आंसर मिल जाएगा उनको. और अगर तर्क करने बैठे, वो गधा है, उसको कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा, because he is not trying to experience it, but they are trying to do logical questioning on that. But my answer is very logical also. तू मुझे बता दे कहां से लेके आया, मैं मान जाऊंगा तेरी बातें. But you will have to give me the record of all the people that appeared there. ढोंगी बहुत है जो घोड़े पे सवार होके भी आएंगे. But I'm not talking about those people there. I'm asking, where did all of them came from? And that very moment you will realize that teleportation is actually possible and happening. Yes or no? And now, if you go back to the historical data of Kumbh, it is said that whenever Kumbh starts, few of the gods and goddesses are given with the responsibility of taking care certain aspects of it. And before the Kumbh starts, before 7 days itself, they will appear to take care of all the things. Let me ask a very logical question. At a time, crores of people come, everybody gets accommodation, everybody gets food, there is no stampede, there is no problem, how things are happening. It looks heavy on the questioning. Let me ask you a very simple question then. Much easier question that everybody can answer. If it is heavy. अगर देवी देवता नहीं आते तो ये सारा व्यवस्था कैसे हो जाता है बताओ. Are you getting that what I'm saying? How huge this thing can be? Let me ask one more thing. It's very simple. ये सबको समझ में आ जाएगा. How many of you on Shivratri go pour milk on Shiva? हर कोई? अच्छा. All of us go pour milk on Shiva. Even the people, those who are not Bhakta also, on that day, at least they pour a little lot of milk on Shiva. I have never seen that on Shivratri the milkman has not given milk at my home. ऐसा हुआ है किसी के साथ? नहीं ना? Okay. मेरे घर में जितना मिल्क आना था आया. Whatever milk has to come to my home came to my home. To your home also it came. And apart from that, everyone in the town, home, city is pouring milk on Shiva. Tell me from where the milk came from. रातों रात गाय डबल हो गए क्या? नहीं ना? From where did you get the milk? Can you see? Miracles are happening in front of us. We are not able to see that, or we don't intend to see that. Now, in this entire creation, when I'm asking all this question, from where did you get the cow milk on Shivratri? From where did crores of people get fed? From where did the Naga sadhus appeared? And the previous stories that I told of Bhandasur, including Krishna, Arjuna also, and Brahma and Krishna. Now tell me, what do you even know? Nothing, right? But remember what Arjuna saw? The Arjuna saw that wherever there is a Krishna, there is Arjuna. And that's what I say. Wherever you see a God, there will be a Bhakt. So can you now tell me, on just this last Sunday, I was asking the question, where are you? Now, when you heard of all this I told, now tell me, where are you? You asked me about Devatas, I'm asking about you. Now just think of, as a human, if we can perceive so many things, think of the divine. Absolute goosebumps, right? And in this very moment, you will see how minute, minuscule we are. But at the same time, you should be absolutely reassured. अर्जुन का assurance क्या था जानते हो? Wherever he was, Krishna was there. What's your assurance? Got it? That means ऐसा हुआ नहीं कि अर्जुन आया और कृष्ण नहीं आया. In million verses, in multiverses as well. What do you think, Chidvilas? That means wherever you are, in whichever form you are. And now you ask me, what are they doing? They are doing the same thing that you are doing right now here. Might be ahead, might be delayed. Now, if you ask me why, then you go and refer my first chapter of Satpurush. Then you will come to a realization that, oh my goodness, this is so real. Yes, it is that real. अब जाके शिवरात्रि में जब दूध चढ़ाओगे ना, तुम्हारे रोंगटे खड़े हो जाने चाहिए, भाई साहब सच में शिव ने ही भेजा होगा, नहीं तो कहां से आया ये। अब क्या बोलोगे, तेरा तुझको अर्पण। Getting that? That's what I'm speaking of. There are multiverses. There are Devi Devatas in the form and form in the, but that is not exactly in this form that we see ourselves to be. And there are places where they are in this form as well. Do you know that Rajasthan, the place Rajasthan was actually an ocean? नर्मदा नदी सुने हो? नर्मदा नदी कहां पे है बताओ मुझे। ये माना जाता है चिदविलास, नर्मदा रिवर वाज सो ह्यूज दैट इट वाज लाइक ए ओशन, yet it was a river. Do you know the story of Rajasthan? No? Narmada river. Ram, at one fine moment, takes out the Brahmastra and shoots it towards Ravana. And Hanuman said, Prabhu, ye kya kar diya? What did you do? You never needed to put a arrow in that way. The ब्रह्मास्त्र चलाने की जरूरत नहीं, पूरा पृथ्वी ध्वंस हो जाएगा। तो राम ने कहा ये तो चल चुका है, अब क्या? तो हनुमान कहता है जो आज्ञा दे, वॉट एवर यू से। राम कहते हैं कि ओके, अगर चल चुका है इसे तो रोक नहीं सकते, एक काम कर, इसे लेके ऐसे स्थान पे डाल जहां पे सबसे लीस्ट इंपैक्ट हो जीवन पर। The least amount of impact should happen on life. And that very moment it is said, Hanuman took that Brahmastra and dropped it on the Narmada river. The Narmada river that was like an ocean drowned, like actually absorbed it and disappeared. And the land that was left out has become Rajasthan, the Kutch. That's why it is a desert. Have you ever thought something that's so close to the ocean, how it can be a desert? You should think in a logical way also, right? How is it just near to the ocean? How is it a desert then? Very simple. Now understand. Go back, trace your history. You'll find your answers. That's the power I'm speaking of. So Chidilas, many a things, just like from the beginning of the Q&A session till up until now, almost nearly 40 minutes I'm speaking to you. But in 40 minutes, or let's say 30 minutes, what all have you grasped? What all have you learned? What all have you experienced? You know, now when people ask you questions about so many things, you have so many answers to tell. From multiverse to Devi Devatas to Amrit. Why I said Amrit exists? Because those beings are appearing from nowhere and their age is around 500 years, 600 years, 1200 years, 2000 years. Yogis are there. Now let me ask you a logical and medical question. You say the sugar has gone up, the cholesterol has gone up, the bone density is going down, the vitamin D has come down, and this and that, and those and all, despite eating all the food that is available to you, right? But all the yogi, those who are staying in the deep dark forest, from where are they getting the food? That they are fit and fine at this age also? What is that? How are they able to keep that texture? How are they able to keep the muscle mass? Because हमको पता है कि प्रोटीन अगर नहीं खाओगे तो मसल मास लूज होता है. How are they able to do that? Who is taking care of them is my question. खाना रोज मिलता है क्या उनको? हाँ, तो स्विगी, जोमेटो नहीं मिलता ना. Who is feeding them? Who is keeping them in that shape and form? इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं उनको वो रहस्य पता है कि अमृत क्या है. You agree to that? And it is said, it is true, it is not said. The Naga sadhus talk to nature because they have gone beyond nature. They have lost themselves in Shiva. The way they are. If you look at them, they don't wear any clothes. वो दिगंबर है. You know why they are digambar? Because they have surrendered to Shiva as a child. As a small little boy or a small little girl roams around in front of the parents, जो छोटा सा बच्चा है उसको क्या कपड़े का क्या पता है उसे. They have become like that in front of the God. And they have become so beautiful in front of the God that they don't have to worry about anything. And I don't know whether I can say this or not. I say it's idiotic. There was one Naga sadhu walking and he was wearing a loin cloth. Okay. One of the reporter goes and asks him, I heard that Naga sadhu don't wear anything. They are digambar. How are you wearing? Would you call it a idiot or not? You know what he did? Whatever, he just looked, smiled, whatever he was wearing, he threw that and started walking away. Did not even responded back to him. ये किस तरीके के लोग हैं? वो हंसते हुए निकल गया वहां से. क्या बोला उसने? What did he say? He said, मेरा कुछ है ही नहीं, मैं यहां हूं ही नहीं. पहना तो तेरे लिए था, किसी ने पहना दिया पहन लिया, किसी ने नहीं दिया वैसे ही घूमा. This is our culture. पिज्जा बर्गर कल्चर नहीं है हमारा. This is our culture. But do we really have our time? Can we put our efforts to even realize how the greatness of the things are? हम तो किसी को देखते हैं क्या भभूत लगा के घूम रहा है, पागल होगा. But do you know what kind of sadhana that person must have done in his life to become the way he is now? कुछ नहीं पता हमें. We don't even know. कोई कर पाएगा आप में से? No, ना? So be grateful towards those people. You should be so grateful towards them. जानते हो धर्म अभी तक क्यों जीवित है? ऐसे लोगों के लिए. वो देखा ना नंदी का, मैंने बताया था ना, I told you about Nandi. Now all the legs are up for him. All the 3 legs are up. Only he's sitting on 1 leg. जिस दिन धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा वो खड़ा हो जाएगा. That's what I'm speaking of. But does not mean, I'm not saying that you should also start putting all the bhabut and run into Kumbh Mela. No. It's not about that. वैराग्य बाह्य की चीज नहीं है, बाहर दिखाने वाली चीज नहीं है. वैराग्य अंतरात्मा की पुकार है. It's a calling within. And when you actually reach out to that space of vairagya, you will find nature speaks to you. I will give you a very classical example, Chidvilas, and after that I will move again with your another question. When you become childlike, the nature starts speaking to you. The nature that could have killed you starts protecting you. The classic example. Have you seen the child comic book called as Jungle Book? Mowgli. जंगल जंगल बात चली है पता चला है चड्डी पहन के फूल खिला है फूल खिला है. Now I remember that because I used to see a lot about that, right? Now when you look at Mowgli, इसी से बात याद आया अन्नपूर्णा जी, मोगली महादेव बना था कोई उस दिन, right? So when you look at Mowgli, have you seen that he has taken birth in the jungle and he speaks to all the animals? कौन सा सिद्धि था उसके पास? Can you see that character is actually pulled from the Naga sadhus? Are you getting that now? It is inspired from them. It is said that they can speak. How they can speak? Because they are childlike and they have taken their life in that way, as if they have taken birth there, and they start talking to them. They start understanding their language. The nature starts understanding their language. The same bear, the tiger, and the python that would kill the kid, becomes their friend and protects them. That's what I call as nature. When you become childlike, the nature starts protecting you. The nature speaks to you. Because there is a nature outside and there is a nature of yours also. ये पूछते ना तुम्हारा नेचर कैसा कैसे हो गया? You have a very good nature. ये बोलते हैं ना? What does that mean? It's as simple as that. Is this nature in alignment with that nature? And if this is connected, you also learn the art of speaking to nature. Okay, Chidvilas. So did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So any other questions you have or any follow-up question to that if you have, you can ask right away. I will answer that as well.
Yes, ma'am. So just a tangential question is like why would they need a human form to exist in their lokas? Because they can just be in the just simply purest form of them.
Right. They are in the purest form, Chidvilas. But in order to make certain thing visible to your eyes, they take a form. जैसे आप अगर रात में वृंदावन जाते हो कुंज वन में, वो वृक्ष अपने आप इंसान मतलब राधा और रानी और गोपियां बन के नाचने लगते हैं, कहते हैं ना? What does it even needed for them to do that? That is their grace and love towards you. That so that you can experience them, they take a form and shape. That's their grace. Just like at times, if you remember, when Katyayani was too small, might be now you both fight, but when she was too small, at times you might have become a horse for her. You just sat down and said, put on my back, and now you just run around. You did that, right? Why do you do that? Are you a horse? No. Then why do you become one? No. That's what your love of yours is towards that kid. क्या देख पा रहे हो? एक इंसान को गधा जानवर भी बना देता है प्यार, और किसी गधे जानवर को भी इंसान बना देता है प्यार, है ना? So that's what I'm saying. If you see a dog, it's a dog, but it knows. आज ही सुबह किसी ने देखा था, some reel was coming. There is a small little dog. Every day there is a small little girl who comes from the school. He goes and waits there. The moment the little girl comes out of the bus, it goes running towards it. It is waiting. मैंने बोला ना, इंसान को जानवर बना देता, जानवर को इंसान बना देता, ये ताकत है उसमें. So when as a human we can become so much out of this small little egoistic love that we have. Think of the love of the God. वो आपके लिए क्या बन सकता है, वो आपके लिए क्या क्या कर सकता है. Taking form and shape is not a big deal for it. And it is their grace that just to showcase you that I am. अब सोचो, let's go back to the same story where Arjuna is looking at Krishna and Arjun, then slowly take a step back. What are you seeing now? Okay, so there is a Brahmanda. Step back, you see the face of Krishna. A step back, a fruit. A step back, a tree. Now tell me, when you are taking a step back, you are seeing just a berry, you are just seeing a fruit, but that fruit has hidden the universe within itself. Now, is it a form and shape of the universe and Krishna? No, but it has the same ingredient of the world, the creation, God and the created in it. उसी भांति मैंने यही कहा कि कृष्ण ने तो यही सिखाया कि जो तू एक फल सोच रहा है उसमें भी मैं ही हूं. That means what? It does not need to take a form, but in order to give the visualization or realization to Arjuna, he asked him go closer, 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 and he will see the entirety. और अगर कृष्ण तब भी उसके अंदर एक पेड़ के जैसा दिखता तो क्या अर्जुन उसे पहचान पाता? No, Arjuna could not have recognized him. That's why he comes in a form and takes a shape in such a way that you recognize. Now, do you think this is benevolence or cruelty towards you, that he took a shape and a form?
Benevolence.
It's benevolence. It's his grace. उसको क्या पड़ी थी वो रूप में आए ना आए? वो बोलेगा तू जिस दिन पहचान लेगा पहचान लेगा. Why should he even come in a form? It's grace. That's why they come into a form and shape. But don't think that only the shape and the form is just like the way we are. And there are lokas, there are different suns, there are different realms, and there are different gods and goddesses, and something beyond that also. Because what you are saying is, if you go and trace back to Satpurush story, then you will see light will slowly disappear. But there is something that will remain. In that, is there any form and shape? No. That's what it is. Did you get the answer?
Yes, Mark.
Means
And
it's
then just something related to it. I don't think I believe this thing so much, but I've recently heard in one of the YouTube things ki when a devta comes to their the form that we think they are,
Mhm.
they lose certain capabilities.
Who? They.
They.
Okay.
So how far is it true?
It depends. It is not false completely, Chittilas. It depends on how many kalas means कितने कलाओं के साथ वो जन्म लेते हैं. How many, what do you call is like, kala मतलब natural things that we call us. There is a particular word called as kala. जितने कलाओं के साथ वो जन्म लेते हैं उतने शक्तियों के साथ वो जन्म लेते हैं. कला means powers. Okay, so if you go and see the 10 avatars, you will absolutely see that how many kalas he has taken and come into this realm. हर युग में उसने एक दो कला बढ़ाते चला गया. इसीलिए कृष्ण को, राम को मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम कहते हैं, लेकिन कृष्ण को पूर्ण अवतार कहते हैं. राइट? क्योंकि राम को मर्यादा में रह के काम करना था, लेकिन कृष्ण ही वॉज एब्सोल्युटली फ्री. और ये माना जाता है कृष्ण 16 कलाओं के साथ जन्म हुए थे. कैन यू सी, राम he did not said that I am God. Krishna openly said I am God. उसने किसी को नहीं छोड़ा, सबको बोला, दिखाया, सिखाया, जैसे भी हो सबको कहा मैं ही हूं। राम ने ऐसा कभी नहीं कहा, परशुराम ने भी ऐसा नहीं कहा, उनसे पहले जितने भी हुए उन्होंने आके ये कभी नहीं कहा कि मैं भगवान हूं। लेकिन कृष्ण एक ऐसा है जो आके कहते हैं मैं ही भगवान हूं। क्यों? क्योंकि वो संपूर्ण अवतार में है। सो एज यू हैव हर्ड, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कलास ही हैज टेकन एंड टेकन बर्थ। Just like the ray of the sun we are seeing, and we are seeing the sun in the sky, don't you think that you must be a ray of the same God, might be with a very less color, that you are become a human? But you could have become a stone then, कलाएं और कम हो जाती थी। So it is not a space of fear, it's a space of celebration, that at least I am created in such type of awareness that I am capable to know him, read about him, know about him, experience them, and yet become that. तो आपकी कलाएं कम है क्या? नो। इसीलिए हम कहते हैं यत्र तत्र सर्वत्र, कहां कहां हो, कहां कहां नहीं हो, हर जगह पे हो और कहीं पे भी नहीं। कृष्ण वही कहते हैं ना, कृष्ण कहते हैं कि मेरा जो धाम है वो ऐसा धाम है जहां पे ना चंद्रमा ना सूरज किसी की रोशनी की जरूरत है। देन व्हाट लोका ही स्पीकिंग ऑफ? ऐसी जगह जो it is not dependent on the light of the sun and the moon. He says that's my loka. It is self illuminated. वो अपने आप से प्रज्वलित है। What does that mean? He is the light of that space. वो ही वहां का रोशनी है। So that's where we come from, Chidvilas. We absolutely are blessed to even come to know all these things. Because there will be a millions and millions and millions who will come and go. Do you even think they will ever hear what we are speaking here? Will it be available to them? No, na? That means what? That means very simple. You have not chosen it. आपने उसे नहीं चुना। आपको चुनने का मौका दिया जाए तो आप संसार चुन लोगे, पक्का है, पक्का है, लिख के रख लो। उतनी बुद्धि नहीं है, और ये बुद्धि हमेशा संसार की तरफ भागती है। इसीलिए कहते हैं जब उसने चुन लिया है बस मान लेना है। You just have to accept it. The more easy you become, easier it becomes. उसको हम तर्क से समझ नहीं सकते, तर्क से लड़ सकते हैं, उसको ज्ञान से पा नहीं सकते, ज्ञान से उसके मार्ग को जान सकते हैं। हमारी भक्ति शायद उतनी बृहत नहीं है कि हम उस तक पहुंच जाएं, लेकिन हमारी भक्ति उसके लिए प्रेम जगा सकती है। लेकिन उसका जो प्रेम है ना वो इतना बृहत है, वो हम तक पहुंच ही जाता है। That's what I'm speaking of. So, Chidvilas, we should be actually celebrating our lives every single moment. But do we? No. क्योंकि हमें लगता है आगे बहुत समय है, कल खुश हो जाएंगे। We'll be happy tomorrow. We'll be happy day after tomorrow. I will be happy on my birthday. और अमर जी ने एक अच्छा ग्रुप में एक पोस्ट किया था ना, एक सेंटेंस, स्लीप इज ए स्टेज रिहर्सल ऑफ डेथ। just with a lot of advertisements in between. That's what we are saying. And in that advertisement, we are lost. And the advertisements are very, very alluring. They use a particular kind of recording for that. Subliminal images. You know what subliminal images are? आप देखोगे, if a small little kid is sitting in front of the TV, it will not watch any of the serials that you are seeing. But the moment an advertisement comes, it will look at that. Have you experienced it? It is because they use subliminal sounds and subliminal images. Subliminal sounds and images directly work on your subconscious mind. Subliminal means that transcends the barrier of the conscious and the subconscious mind. That's why it enters directly, and that's how it attracts the attention of the kids even without their knowledge. That's what I said. Subliminal images are like Maya. It attracts everything. The world is just like that. And we, like the small little kid, we keep on looking at that, right? It grabs our attention. If you are in this world, you know the rules of the world. And let me give you a magical line, Chidvilas. किसी ने मुझे पूछा कि why are you always talking about all these things again and again, and you are giving all these things? I said, very simple. When you know the rules of the games, you don't panic. Or rather, if I say, if you know the game, you don't panic. And I am trying my best to make you know the game so that you don't panic. So I believe like every passing day that we speak, you are knowing a little bit more about the game, a little bit more about the game, a little bit more about the game. So is there anything to be panicked about? Trust. Right? Okay. What else? उषा जी आज बड़े खुश हैं, कहते हैं कि आज चिदविलास ने अच्छा समय दिया, उसके बदौलत बहुत आंसर अच्छे अच्छे मिल गए. और कोई क्वेश्चन चिदविलास?
Yes, Mahadev. Uh, if anything, I'll ask question next. But there was one thing which I was talking to my friend lately. As I said you before, these days usually I'm talking like taking something and then uh dissecting it to show that it is not real. So it goes something like, when we look at something, we don't even really know what color we are looking at, because what appears, for suppose if it is a red, we don't even know if the other person is looking at the same red that we are looking at. So now the thing goes like, when someone is telling about something, someone is experiencing something, it means that he is looking at the world from his perspective, which is that his mind is working that way.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, when the body is left, the mind is gone, then what is the existence that which existed?
That exactly what I wrote. Why I'm burning in the fire and why the fire is burning in me. So if you are able to dissect that, can't you see what appears to be real is not the reality? And there is a, I believe like there is a dress. Dress is there. It is created in such a way. I think if I have the video, I'll share. Or else you can go search on Google. The color of the dress appears different to different people. It is made in such a way. You both are sitting in one room, looking at the picture, looking at the same dress, and both the people will say that the color of the dress is different. Now somebody says, wow, wonderful, where can I get that cloth? I am bored wearing the same colors. At least if I wear the same thing, people will keep on looking at it and still see something new. No, it is there. It is available. The designer has made it in such a way. I have actually tested it. I called one of my friend. I saw this is golden and maroon.
Blue.
He says, hey, andha ho gaya kya? It is green and gold. Then I realized that it is true. The same photo. I called another fellow. He says, gold kahan hai isme? Is it really? Everybody should have one piece of that. ताकि दुनिया में घूमते रहे और सबको अलग अलग दिखते रहे. One would be enough then, right? वो रोज का झमेला वार्डरोब से ये निकालो वो निकालने के पूरा वार्डरोब ही अपने ऊपर गिरता है. So better to do that. At least one hanging and you wear it and you are confident that everybody will see a new color. So Chidvilas, yes, it is the perspective. Is the way you perceive the world. See, a small little kid perceives the world with curiosity. And everything becomes curious for him. That's why it goes and puts its fingers into the electricity board as well, just like me. And the same small little kid, it's catches a frog and tries to eat it. No, there are people in this room, those who have done that. That's why I'm saying. And literally, latest I saw something. बेचारा छिपकली के पीछे पड़ा है. The lizard. Wow. I could see people throwing away their headphones. So, perspective of looking at the things. Perspective of looking at the world. Perspective of looking at the divine itself. I say if it's your perspective that, no, there is an amazing thing. Let me tell you, I have to tell this, I believe. It comes like this. I asked the zebra whether you are white striped or black striped. बताओ. जीब्रा काला है जिसके ऊपर सफेद रंग है या सफेद है जिसके ऊपर काला रंग है? Is the zebra white on which the black paint is there, or the zebra is black on which the white paint is there? Then the zebra turned around me and asked, are you positive in negativity or negatively positive? Are you happy in sadness or sad in happiness? And it kept on asking me questions, and finally I realized that I should not ask the zebra. That's how it is. So, Chidvilas, perspective. A stone does not look at you as if you are doing worship on it. If it comes into consciousness and looks at you, you might be thinking, why are you pouring water on me again and again? up until it realizes what it is being worshipped as. Similarly, whatever is happening in your life, up until you realize what is happening to you will only say, why are you only pouring water on me again and again? Just like the stone might complain. But if you come to the realization, a statement that I was speaking, I was speaking to Revati ji. She called me up in the evening, I believe. Just for a brief moment, she called and she was asking, like, how beautiful space I have got now. And I said, yeah, that beautiful space. And she was talking something about her loss that happened in her life, right? And I said, realize one thing, Revati ji. Whenever the divine takes away something from you, in return, it does not just gives multifold. Again, let me tell you, whenever the divine takes away something from you, it does not gives you in multifold. It gives himself to you. क्या? now जाओ जियो. जब भी वो आपसे कुछ ले लेता है, ये मत सोचो कि वो आपको बहुगुना करके आपको वापस करेगा. वो बहुगुना करके वापस नहीं करता है, वो अपने आप को तुमको दे देता है. Are we able to see that? Now, if you want to call me crazy in these talks, I am. सावन के अंधे को सिर्फ हरा हरा दिखता है. The one who has gotten blind in the phase of the planet when it was all green, all that it sees is green. और हम उसके अंधे हैं. हमको हर जगह वही दिखता है. Even in loss, it is there. Even in gain, it is there. कुछ मिला उसमें वो है, कुछ नहीं मिला उसमें वो है. मेरी इच्छा पूरी हुई उसमें वो है, मेरी इच्छा पूरी नहीं हुई उसमें वो है. मैं हूं ही नहीं. आई एम नॉट देयर. फिर किसकी इच्छा पूरी हुई, किसकी इच्छा पूरी नहीं हुई? If I am no more there, now tell me whose wish got fulfilled, whose wish did not got fulfilled. That means all his wish got fulfilled, all his wish did not got fulfilled. There is nowhere me. Can you live life with that? That's the path of Shiva, where there is no will of you, all that his will. So, what did you learn? Whenever the divine takes away something from you, it does not gives you back in multiple, it gives himself to you. अब बताओ. How many times he will give you assurance? रिमाइंडर अपने सर पे लिख दो ना. So, Chidvilas, was I able to answer your questions? If I was, how does it matter? If I was not, how does it matter? मैं था ही नहीं.
Not me.
So, who was asking? Who was speaking? And now the question is, who is laughing? Icing on the cake, where are you? If we are not here. Radhe Radhe. Okay. परिपूर्ण लग रहा है कि नहीं? देखा? That's what I say. Did you saw? You asked me about realms, but you traveled in all those right now, even without you knowing that. All that I was saying, was it not like absolutely visualization that, okay, so this is this, this is this, this is this, this is exactly happening? How? If you were not there, how could you even see that? Ab batao. When you are here and yet you were with Krishna and Arjuna. If you were here and still were able to see Krishna and Arjuna in that berry, if you are here and still saw the Dasavataras of, you saw the Bhandasura, you saw the different realms and all those you came away. Right? वो सारी चीजें देख लिए, किसी ना किसी रूप में महसूस हुआ, शायद आंखों से नहीं देखे, but you were feeling all that I was speaking, including the Naga sadhus, right? Now tell me, were you teleporting or not? Every night you teleport in your dreams. कौन सी साधना करके सोते हो? You know what? When you are no more there, everything happens like this. And when you are there, everything looks like this. मानो जैसे गिरी गोवर्धन आपके सर पे रख दिया हो. That's the way of life. समझ जाना आसान है अगर समझ गए तो. नहीं समझे फिर आएगा, फिर समझाएगा. He'll again come and speak to you again in a different language, in another way, another story, another talk, another Q&A session. But if you again just close your and just see yourself, you will actually feel that you have been marinated with that divine. You will actually feel that, wow, इतने सारे चीजें थी क्या, what I didn't knew even. Now tell me, Chiddulas, where are you? या तो कहीं नहीं, या तो हर जगह. Either I'm nowhere or everywhere. किसका नाम है? Who is and who is not? Shiva. And there is a many people have already kept on saying ना, संध्या जी जब फोटो पोस्ट करते हैं ना, तो आज शायद everybody keeps on keeping, अरे God is blessing you in everywhere. And then she keeps on asking me one question like, she has a cat out there, like she looks like a tiger. Actually, that cat looks like a tiger. भगवान की अजीब अजीब लीलाएं होती है. It looks like a tiger. So she keeps on asking me, उसमें क्या है? Because when she completes the puja, that cat will go and sit on the mat and look at it like constantly for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. मानो जैसे त्राटक कर रहा है. Every time. And she keeps on asking me, what is that? What is that? What is there in that? I have never told her what is that in her. I simply want to ask her, what's her name? She will clearly tell her name is Vashi. I said, reverse it. Shiva. Yeah. तो कैसे कैसे आ जाता है बताता भी नहीं. So Chidulas, any further questions?
Yes, Mahadev. So
अभी उषा जी बड़े खुश लग रहे हैं लेकिन मेरे को. बोले बच्चा बहुत अच्छे अच्छे प्रश्न पूछ रहा है, क्योंकि आज जो दूसरी बच्ची है वो शांत बैठी है उधर, आबाजी खाली हंस रहे, चुप हो जा रहे। चलो चिदुलास।
Yes, Mahadev. So this is from my PDF.
हाँ?
When there are two ways that we consider spiritual masters. Say that uh, one thing goes like when you do something,
हम्म,
just do it without really being connected to it.
ओके।
And then there the other thing which says ki do the thing becoming the process.
हम्म,
So which way and where do we have to really use it? Because when when we are getting into it and doing,
हम्म।
then there is actually no attachment but fully attached to it.
ओके।
So how is it going to affect the path of uh, path of liberation, maybe that
हाँ।
we call?
ओ, हम्म। द
So where
क्वेश्चन,
to use and what to use?
अच्छा, सो कहाँ पे, मीन्स योर क्वेश्चन इज वेयर I should be completely detached, knowing that I'm not doing it,
Yes.
and where I should be so involved that the doer is no more there, it becomes the doing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And the second thing question that you're asking is which path will lead me to liberation?
Ah.
Okay. My question to you is, do you feel liberated?
Ah. Yes.
What was your doing in it?
I am. I am just it.
How?
I'm like
Something happened, right? Something happened. I'm asking very simply. I simply asked one thing. Are you liberated? And you, yes. What did you do for that? Can you see you
no.
did something and you didn't did anything? What did you do? You accepted. What you
Yes.
didn't do? You didn't knew how you accepted it. But at the same time, both the things happened or not. But the ultimate goal is you feel liberated. Now that itself indicated that liberation is possible. Now we'll go to your first question. So this was the answer to your second question. You got that?
Yes.
So let's go to the first question. The first question was how not to be involved and how to be completely involved. Right? Very good. It also happens at one go. Both happen simultaneously. Just like the sun is shining and not shining simultaneously, just like it is day and night simultaneously right now. Yes? So let me tell you. The moment, let's say you are dancing, okay? And if you are dancing, and in your dancing, you came to a realization that how even this body is moving. Who is moving this body? Then you are no more the doer. Yet you will be mesmerized by the dancing that is happening. Let's say you are painting. And when you are painting, just for a moment, you see how your hand is moving automatically. When you come to that realization that how the hand is moving, because many people are not able to move their hands. When I say many people are not able to move their hands, I am not saying that they are not able to move their hand literally, but they are not able to move their hand in certain way that they can paint. then who is moving this hand in this way? That very moment you will see that something is moving, but I am not moving it. Who is doing that? And in that thought, who is doing that? You are already painting it. Means you have already become the painting. You are not doing and doing at the same time. उसी भांति किसी भी कार्य को करते हो, whatever you are doing, just realize, recognize this. Who is exactly doing it? And that very moment you will see everything is done even without you interfering in it. You just becoming the observer. कार्य रुका क्या? Did the painting stop? No. You just became the observer, and the moment you became the observer, you saw that it was not your doing, it's somebody else doing, and in that doing, you are so lost in it that you become that. And then paint, then dance, then sing. Every movement of yours becomes divine. And if every movement of mine becomes divine, is liberation my seeking, or liberation is seeking me now? I come to say it in a very stringent way, Chibilas. In a very stringent way. I say my liberation is waiting at the doorstep of death for me to cross over. समझ में आया? But do I wait for my travel to that door, or I welcome liberation to this moment? कौन सा?
No.
Good choice. You are conscious.
Because if it doesn't happen now, how can it happen then?
Because it will happen in the now. So are you liberated?
Yes.
So you are. But is it just a saying, or it is a feeling? It's an expression.
These expressions.
देख लो उसे. That's what I'm speaking of. The moment you truly get connected to that space, it does not matter what your face looks like, you look beautiful. It does not matter. You simply look beautiful. That's it. शिव का एक नाम सुंदर है. So the moment you really touch to that space, knowingly, unknowingly, you become that. You become beautiful. How do you see yourself when you look into the mirror? The moment you look into the mirror and you like it, and you say that, oh, Sundar. And that very moment you said, Shiva. Even in your image, you don't see yourself anymore. Even in your reflection, you see the divine. और जिसका रिफ्लेक्शन डिवाइन है, वो खुद क्या होगा? ओके, चलो. आई थिंक लाइक उषा जी अभी बोल रहे पूरा एक सेशन गुरुजी ने उनके नाम पे डेडिकेट कर दिया चित बिलास को. पूरा का पूरा सेशन. चलो, So Chidilas, I would like to bring a halt to you. Uh, I'll
What?
take further questions from you next time. But just Janesh is around, so
Yes,
Janesh, you can. But
thank
before I go, so Chidilas,
you. Yes, man.
what did you learn in a minute? You have to tell that.
Right now, actually, it's just like a point and then everything at the same time. A point that too, which is just a point,
Right?
and everything is same at the same time.
Where are you? You are in that point or in everything?
Both, because point is also in everything.
And everything is
In a point.
the story of seed to seed. Where did the fruit came from? And now I want an answer from you for every one of us, whether the zebra is a black having white strips or it is white having black strips. So you come with the answer next time. पूछ लेना अपने दोस्तों से. Ask them, they can give you answer. Okay. Chalo,
Yes,
Siddhuras,
Master.
thank you. I
Thank
think
you.
like, oh, so amazing question that brought in so many things at one go itself. Janesh ji,
गुरु
pranam.
जी, हम अगले सेशन के लिए जो पिछले सेशन में कंटिन्यू करके रह गया था, अगर आप कवर कर सको तो, कि एक साथ 16 आइलैंड क्यों,
Okay.
एंड व्हाई ओनली द ओनर ऑफ और द कर्ता वन आइलैंड क्रिएटेड एवरीथिंग.
Mm.
The rest of the 15 one also had the same capacity, but what did they do?
They also created. But we are only talking of
They,
one.
so So if they have created, then why Paramahans of other islands came to here rather than not going in their own creation or their own Kartartha?
Right. So
And what was Mansarovar made of?
let the series complete because all these questions are coming.
And what was Mansarovar made of?
अभी तो बस मैंने वही कहा ना जनेश जी, we are just talking about one realm. The moment we start talking about that, because all these questions, many people have the same questions. So what I can say is park your questions. Listen to the entire story now. Then I think like a complete Q&A session will be dedicated for these questions only. There are so many questions into that.
And ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि एक अप टू वन लेवल तो इट वाज ओनली प्योर लाइट एंड एनर्जी. आफ्टर दैट सॉलिडिफिकेशन स्टार्टेड.
हाँ.
तो जब भी हम जब भी मंत्र करते हैं या किसी किसी देवी या देवता का ध्यान करते या उसके साथ योग करके जुड़ने की कोशिश करते, सो आर वी अटैचिंग द फॉर्म ऑफ एनर्जी और फॉर्म ऑफ लाइट.
Okay.
और जब भी आपने ये पिछले सेशन में जब भी आपने गांव देवी कुल देवी वगैरह जुड़ लिया, तो progressively speaking, just like our vein, there was
Janesh ji, we can close your video. I think like there is a bandwidth issue. So we can close the video and ask the question. So शायद जनेश जी अगले हफ्ते आएंगे सुनने के बाद. हाँ, अब बोलिए। No? ओके।
हेलो,
हाँ, अब बोलिए।
अभी ठीक है?
हाँ हाँ, अब ठीक है।
हाँ, तो that means we are at end of a capillary, the first cell, and then from capillary it starts to the small vein, then the large vein, then the large vein, until it reaches to the parapet tube. And
यस
the goal is to reach to parapet tube through end of the capillary.
यस
तो ऐसा प्रतीत होता है, तो क्या ये
सर,
सही है?
बिल्कुल सही है, बिकॉज व्हेन आई विल elaborately talk about further about our own selves, okay, so you will, so many revelations will come into play. अभी जो लास्ट पार्ट, अभी आई डोंट नो आई से दैट इज द लास्ट पार्ट मोस्ट प्रोबेबली, बट डोंट नो. बट द थिंग इज, दिस संडे आई एम नॉट अवेलेबल.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं होता है,
So most
आप
probably
मंडे
the
को ले लीजिए।
last part might happen next Wednesday in the evening, as we are talking right now. Instead of the Q&A session, we might have that. Or if there are really some burning questions that people need our answers, we will do the Q&A, and then on the Sunday we'll do the satsang. So whichever works.
ठीक है।
But I want all of you to, all the questions जो है ना, लिख के रखो, भूलना नहीं उसे.
नहीं,
Don't forget the questions, because I
होगा।
want to answer each and every one of that, so that none of us goes with a question left about what was spoken. And don't worry, आपके प्रश्न से पहले मेरे पास उत्तर हैं.
हाँ,
But the thing is, I want you to experience that first. मैं ये देख के बोल सकता, रसगुल्ला दिखा दूं आपके सामने, बोले रसगुल्ला ना बड़ा मीठा है. अरे आप खाओगे तब जानोगे ना मीठा है कि खट्टा है. So that experience should come to you. And once you experience that, then you can ask me, ये मीठा कैसे लगता है? What did you do? ये रसगुल्ला बना कैसे है? Then the questions will appear. And once you know the process, the question also disappears. Okay. So Janesh ji, you might have to halt for some time, I believe.
ठीक है, ठीक है।
ऐसा नहीं
धन्यवाद।
है कि मैं आपका उत्तर नहीं दे सकता. प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है. But the thing is, I might reveal certain things that is yet to be known by you. चलेगा? Is it
चलेगा,
okay? Okay. Done.
चलेगा।
चलो, थैंक यू
धन्यवाद।
गणेश जी, प्रणाम. uh, दीपिका जी, कैन यू प्लीज अनम्यूट?
Pranam Mahadev.
प्रणाम.
Um, Actually, when you were talking to Siddhilas, you brought up a topic, and I remembered my question I wanted to ask. Um, I have severe, it's not like fear also. There is a different type
Lizard.
of feel. Man, yeah, I can't even hear certain times that word. Not only that, the entire of reptiles and certain species, I can't even just bear the thought of it. But when it comes to spirituality, many times it's mentioned that spirituality is very much connected to snakes. Like in what exact way, I really don't know. But even the chakras are aligned in a certain way. That's what they say, no, Mahadev. Like the Ida Pingala, they go in the shape of those intertwining snakes and like that. So my question is, would that feeling stop me from proceeding further in my spiritual journey? I don't know, because certain words I really can't take. I just even can't hear. I
Okay.
am that feeling I can't even express, Mahadev. Like I
Okay,
don't know.
I got that.
Or was it
It's
of I don't know what previous connection. I'm very much scared of getting into water also. I don't know what is that previous connection, because You ask me to jump from any height, I would be willing to without any fear in heart. But when it comes to water, I just can't take a dip. Even in
Right.
Triveni Sangam, when I wanted to take that dip, I think people around me that day would have realized how much scared I am of water.
Okay.
Those guys who were helping over there, they literally tried to console me maximum part, because I was really I become breathless, and I can't even express what happens to me at that time. So what exactly affects us in that way? Only certain aspects. Why do they affect us in that way?
This is not just coming from this life's experiences.
Mahadev, I think my audio it got disconnected. Can you please repeat?
Okay.
Sorry.
No, the thing is,
Hmm.
it's not just the accumulation of one life. It comes from the past experiences of the past lives. That's where we can actually say that in this life you have not experienced any such fear, but yet
Hmm.
for some unknown reasons you have that fear within you. That
Yeah.
itself speaks loudly that we have experienced it somewhere.
Hmm.
That when you are asking whether it will become a hurdle for you or not.
Hmm.
No.
Okay.
The reason is very simple. The reason is it does not has only that way to go. मार्ग सिर्फ एक नहीं है.
Okay.
So there are processes. भक्ति में ये सारे चीजों की कहाँ जरूरत है?
Okay.
कहीं में जरूरत नहीं है.
Hmm.
Right? So there are particular processes in which you need to do certain sadhanas in which all these things are required. But here you are not even doing that. So that itself clarifies that it is not going to stop me.
Okay.
Because it has created all the ways for me.
Hmm.
Some people say if you do past life regression, it helps. How far is a question?
Hmm.
I don't say
What
that
is
it does
past
not
life
work.
regression, Mahadev? I don't know what it is, but
It's like hypnotizing you, taking you back to your past lives to show you where you got that fear and then erasing that fear from your mind, kind of thing. At times it worsens.
Okay.
So we don't even have to go there. Accepting that. Okay, so this physicality has fear to certain things. You show me a path where these fears are not there.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. A mechanism of the body works. A mechanism of the body says you should be aware of fire. You should not be, you should, that factor that we call as fear. Is it not something that protects us?
It does to a certain
does.
extent. Yeah.
So the physicality needs a certain protection, and your mechanism, which might have undergone all these things, might be you drowned somewhere. Might be there was a snake bite.
Possible.
Might be there was something. If you go and read the Buddha's stories of his past life, Jataka Kathas, if you go and read those, you will come to realize that, okay, so he has taken all this, but that means all the fear that I am having. You see, suddenly you go on the street and you're traveling in a different country altogether, then suddenly you see someone and it feels like you know them.
Yes.
And similarly, you're walking, you saw somebody and you said, I should slap this fellow. You don't know why. For no reason, right? Why does that happen? That means you're not able to see the connection that it had in the past lives. But now, you are still carrying those in a subtle state of your mind. It has come to you in this life also. ज़्यादातर क्या होता है ना, it ends with the last life, because generally it's a game of the mind out there. लेकिन
Okay.
कुछ मौलिक चीजें रह जाती हैं. And when it comes to this, don't worry about your sadhanas. आपको हमने कोई नागपाश साधना नहीं दिया है.
Hmm. So even
So
for meditation, we don't need while meditating, that's what basically happens, no Mahadev, like the Ida Pingala, Jagran and all that.
they
So is that
कुंडलिनी क्या
really
बात कर रहे हो आप, राइट? इट्स नॉट अबाउट इडा
hmm,
पिंगला, इट्स अ कुंडलिनी जागरण. कुंडलिनी क्यों कहते हैं?
Kundalini
उसको
Jagran?
माना जाता है कि ये सर्प जैसा है, तीन, it is
Hmm.
sitting, kundali
Yeah.
mark means like it is sitting there, so it slowly rises up. So it is given as an indication.
Okay, that has not
It's not
no.
like a replication of certain thing,
Okay.
but in order to make a visualization at the mind level, आप सोचो एक इंसान के अंदर एक सच में एक ऐसा सांप बैठा हो तो,
Hmm.
right? So it is a way of depicting the things to you. And when the depiction comes, it is not related to whether you will be able to find your path or not. It is not
Hmm.
limited. It is not just the path. It is a
Okay.
path. It is a path. There are many paths for that.
Okay.
And don't worry. We'll find another way if that does not work. Okay?
Okay, Mahadev. I have one question of the session, but you were saying for
Yeah,
the
I think like
entire
you can
thing to
park the
complete, but
questions because one day if we take all the questions, no, everybody will be aligned. Everybody will be able to get the answers also.
okay, Mahadev.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm holding it back.
Okay, Mahadev.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah,
then.
because that particular statement I could never understand. I
Okay.
cannot
What was the
get the
statement?
complete lesson. When you actually mentioned when Mahavishnu, Mahabrahma, Mahadeva, they created Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu. You mentioned that Mahadeva came as the ash. He came from the ashes of the eternal truth. You actually explained what eternal truth is, which cannot be created, which cannot be destroyed, which is like it's there,
So from where did
irrespective of whether you
ashes came
accept
from?
it, you don't accept it, then
From
where
where
did the
did that
ashes
ashes
come?
came from, right?
Yeah. That was like a very different thought-provoking thing.
Right?
I couldn't understand that, Mahadev. I wanted to
That
know it.
itself will transcend you beyond Satpurush.
Oh, okay.
So most probably next session में बहुत सारे खुलासे होने वाले, like still more things are going to open up.
Okay, Mahadev.
So just enjoy this for now.
Okay, Mahadev. Thank you.
That's where I said, no, if you think that is the ultimate, then another chapter opens.
Mm.
Just like you look at yourself and you say, oh, I'm this much. Then you look at your house, oh, I'm small in front of my house. Then you look at your apartment. Then you say, oh, the apartment mein ghar mera chota sa hi hai. Then you look in the locality. Then you look into the state. Then you look into the country. And as far as you keep on looking at it, the one who was looking, अरे मैं इतना बड़ा हूँ या इतना छोटा हूँ, now slowly it becomes very minuscule.
Yes.
So as more and more and more and more you keep on exploring all the things that were so having so much of magnitude in your life, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So usi bhati, in the same way, you will realize that what you thought to be ultimate again becomes something less. Oh, there is further to that. Oh, there is further to that. There is further to that.
Yeah.
So okay. So let me
This is
finish
like
that.
trying to look beyond the stars, but we don't even know what is there and till where it goes.
No, I say it in this way, Deepika ji. It's not even looking beyond the stars. It's like some people look at the clouds and think it to be the sky.
Mm.
The sky.
But there existentially, there is no sky at all, right? No, Mahadev.
Right.
So,
That's what I say. So how can you even, if there is no existence to the sky itself, means there is nothing called a sky and everything is in sky.
yeah. Mm.
Then what that
So,
is all about?
is there an ending to this? Like, if there is an ending, what is there beyond that? Like,
There is an ending. There is a very simple ending. You will become everything.
no, Mahadev, I'm asking about the universe. Like,
That's what. If you
okay,
look at
what the bigger picture of universe. I don't know the word to refer to it. If there is an ending
then
to it,
see
what
if
is
there
there
is
beyond that? If there is
see
no ending, where does it go?
that's what I keep on saying. Every single night you go to sleep and you keep on dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. Can you tell me where your dream ends?
No, that no, Mahadev.
That's what creation is all about. Every thought has the capacity and capability to create a universe. Every thought. And now talking about God, I'm talking about you.
Hmm.
You are that. The only thing is, more and more we think, the more and more we are creating.
Okay. Hmm.
And that's where, when I said you will become everything, in meditation, what do? You stop your thoughts, you don't create anything further. You go back to your source. Then you become everything.
Okay. Mhm.
You're no more counting the fruits. You saw, like, okay, so there was one seed. So it is absolutely what do you say? A thrill journey hai. It will take you up, it will throw you down, it will take you up, it will throw you down. One day you say, oh, now I know. The very next day everything is devastated.
Hmm.
Now again you sit down and say, oh, मैं कुछ पता ही नहीं है. अजीब कश्मोकश में जीता हूं मैं. कभी अपने आप को कम तो कभी ज्यादा समझता हूं मैं. पर मिट जाती है ये सारी उलझने जीवन की जब शिव से बस मिल जाता हूं मैं. It's just the same answer that you are asking me as a question.
Mhm.
There is a dilemma what I'm going through. At times I think myself to be big, at times I think myself to be small. But all these dilemmas vanish the moment I connect with Shiva. Because the moment you connect with it, you become that. So, what is ultimate? You. I've been telling this for over years of now.
Hmm.
Until you accept.
So, is the acceptance of the mind? If that is the case, I accept it right now, but it's not happening. So,
See,
what is it?
can you see
That
that?
acceptance.
Okay, so there are 3 steps to that. 3 steps to 1, you cannot know it.
Hmm.
Means the mind cannot know it.
Yeah.
But the mind can accept it.
Hmm.
And the moment it accepts it, it knows it. बहुत सरल है ना शिव का मार्ग. बिकॉज शिव की कथा है यहां से ऊपर वाली चीजें हैं. वो उसको ऐसे घुमाएगा. It will turn and twist it in such a way that at a moment it will sit down. The same brain that was so active and highly intellectual will sit down and say, क्या बोल रहा है क्यों? What are you speaking? I don't even understand. I say, exactly
Hmm.
what you should be done. I ask you the same question. क्या जाप करते हो रोज सुबह उठ के दीपिका बनने के लिए?
कुछ भी नहीं.
लेकिन क्या आप दीपिका ही
I
हो?
wake up like that, yeah.
लेकिन क्या आप दीपिका ही हो?
Probably no. If I was given a different name, I would have been different.
तो क्या आप दीपिका हो?
No.
You cannot say no, you cannot say yes to it. That's what I say. You are unknowable. Yet to know yourself, you have given a name. वही मैं कहता हूं. You cannot know it, but by accepting it, you know it. Now you have given a name to yourself, saying that I am Deepika. And based on that, people know you, you know yourself. Suddenly somebody, who are you? Oh, I am Deepika. How did you become that?
I accepted to be.
How do you become Shiva?
I accept to be.
कैसे? रोज सुबह उठ के हम ब्रह्मास्मि लिखने से नहीं, जैसे दीपिका को अपने आप को दीपिका मान लियो ना, जिस दिन उसे वो मान लोगे उसे जान लोगे,
Okay.
विदाउट एनी डायलेमा, विदाउट एनी क्वेश्चन, इट विल बिकम। तब जब जागोगे तो जागोगे शिव होके। So there are paths, there are ways. I guide you with that also. तो पहला, उसे जान नहीं सकते, दूसरा उसे मान सकते हो, मीन्स you cannot know it but you can accept it, and in order to bring that acceptance क्या करना चाहिए? Listen, contemplate, become. श्रवणम मननम निधिध्यास। ऐसे ही दीपिका बने हो आप, जानते हो, किसी ने आपके कान में नाम बोला श्रवणम, then they kept on telling you, and then you started repeating that within yourself. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasa. Every day you became Deepika, and now you don't have to do any mantra to become Deepika. You cannot know it, you can accept it. In order to accept that, you have to do three things: Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasam. Getting that?
Yes, Mahadev.
So there is one question, but accepting self as Shiva, somehow hesitation comes. It is of the ignorance of the mind. Because you think the moment I say Shiva, I will be arrogant, I will become ignorant. I will say, if I am God, I should be doing everything. Everybody should do worship of me. That means that is a egoistic mind. शिवा कभी बैठ के शिव बैठ के नहीं कहता कि मेरी पूजा करो। तुम शिव को देखोगे ना, अपने आप पूजा होने लगता है।
Exactly. Yeah.
So the day you become Shiva, I don't know, like from S, I don't even know what the complete name of that is. Don't worry, the name that is popping up as S, you can ask me this question in the next Q&A session. I would love to answer that. Okay? Because it's a quite common question that everybody asks, that everybody goes through. But there is a brilliant answer to that as well. So Deepika ji, what's the way? Can you know it?
No, there is no way to know it.
And then I said, if you want to know Shiva, you should know yourself. And if you want to know yourself, you should forget yourself. That's exactly what I'm saying. You cannot know it until you accept it. And when you accept it as you forgot yourself.
Yes.
You became that. Same thing. मेरे सारे के सारे write-ups, सारे के सारे जो बोल रहा हूं ना, everything is indicating to that again. The only thing is, everything is just a reminder to you. Everything. I might tell it in a million ways, a myriads of forms. But ultimately, it's all you. Okay? Chalo.
Mahadev, I have one more question, or should I ask next time?
Please go ahead.
They say that when the creation ends, I'm sorry, Aliva ji. When the creation ends, they say that Vishnu is actually floating on the water, and again the creation begins. I don't know. I have heard this somewhere. I don't know if it is actually true or not, but if that's the case, like when the creation ends, probably there might be beings who are not realized by that time. So what actually happens in the sense of the creation ends means everybody is realized, even forcefully, or what actually happens at that stage? I had this question.
In one way, if you look at it, it generally happens in such a phase that everybody realizes that. Lekin, when you heard, or when we go back to our Puranas and we look at the theory when it says that there will be somebody named as Kalki,
Mhm.
and he will come on riding on a horse with a sword in his hands, and he will cut down all the beings that are there. Right?
Mhm.
यही है कल्कि अवतार का जो
Yeah.
ज्ञान जानते हो. ये जो काटने का जो कला है, like means what they are speaking about, cutting down the heads, chopping down the heads that they speak of. What does that mean?
Cutting down the ignorance of people in a way.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Might be what you said in a forceful way, but
Mm.
that is chopping down the ego and making them realize that completely what it is. उसका आपको व्याख्या मिलेगा जब आप काली को देखते हो, तो उसके हाथ में
Okay.
एक कटा हुआ सर रहता है. There is a head
Yeah.
that she is holding. The reason that she is indicating there is, I am the one who will dispel the darkness because I am the darkness.
Mm.
And that ignorance that you are holding back, I will cut that down. And then she wears it as garland. वो माला की तरह पहनती है. And all that garland that she is wearing becomes the aksharas. Aksharas means the alphabets of Sanskrit. Means from ignorance, she brought letters out. वो अक्षर बन गया, क्षय नहीं हो सकता जिसका. From that akshara came the matrikas. From those matrikas, words evolved. And now you are able to speak whatever we are speaking. Now tell me, whatever you are speaking from, where is it rooting from? The
It's
ignorance that
Magan.
she dispelled,
Mm.
from there the words are coming forward. That's how you say, like when you ask me, what will happen? It will be realization of beings.
Okay.
Either they will completely realize, or it will come in such a way that it will dispel all your ignorance, and in that very moment, you will realize.
Okay.
And that very moment, अंत ही आरंभ है. Certain thing ends. लेकिन ये माना जाता है कि प्रलय के इमीडिएट बाद शुरुआत नहीं होती. There is a
Yeah.
phase of that. There nothing is happening there.
Yeah.
And again it begins. So that's quite a huge talk again.
Okay.
That is a huge talk again. ठीक है, इसको कंप्लीट करते हैं पहले सत्पुरुष का.
Okay,
Because
Mahadev.
if you're only thinking about this universe, इसका स्थिति प्रलय सब होगा. अब
Mm.
तो आप you have taken somewhere else.
Oh, that Vishnu is not this Vishnu that we are hearing about right now? No. Okay. Mm.
So that's what I'm speaking of. We'll bring certain things that has gone away from this world.
Mm.
ऐसे चीजें जिसके बारे में कोई बात कर नहीं रहा है, या ऐसे चीजें जिनको मिटा दिया गया है. There are no more there. That's what exactly we are trying to do. Now, when I was speaking to Chidvilas in a very practical way, didn't you realize that all those of us truth and we are not able to see it?
Yes.
Similarly, so there are many truths that are prevailing around us, but we are not able to see that. What are we doing through these sessions? We are bringing all those things into your consciousness. And in your consciousness, they are shining. In your consciousness, you are seeing them. In your consciousness, you are experiencing them. And that's how you give the proof of truth. Although truth does not need a proof, yet in your experience, the proof is provided. Okay?
Okay,
Chalo.
Mahadev.
So thank you, Deepika ji.
Thank you so much, Mahadev. Thank you.
And Aliva ji, where is she? Yeah, Aliva ji, if you are still there, and if you still have the question, or if you got the answer, that's fine with it. So, anyway, so Aliva ji might be waiting for the next time she will ask the question. Till then, thank you. I would like to thank beautiful questions. And this is one of the Q&A sessions you should listen again, right? Because the initial first phase of 50-55 minutes, what we have spoken, these are mind-boggling. That will bring in... no problem, Aliva ji. If your question is ready, you can ask me before we move.
Pranam Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
It can wait, Mahadev. I think, like you said, a lot got dispelled
Okay.
in the session today. It was more like a satsang.
I didn't wanted to have people that dearth of not me not taking the session on Sunday. So I made a effort to make sure they get that. So most probably Sunday morning they will wake up at the regular time and put this Q&A session and listen to that.
Yes, yes. Yeah. And as you said, I think I'll park my question for a consolidated Q&A on the 3 series or 4 series.
Yeah.
Because it was more on Gotras and something related to a spiritual way of dealing with pain. Not suffering, but pain. So I'll park it for later, Mahadev. It's late for you as well.
Sure. Okay. Sure, Aliva ji. We'll let you know on that as well. Yeah, very typical thing like how to deal with pain despite being in spirituality. Body gives us pain. How do you deal with that? Yeah. So there are ways, there are paths, there are mantras, there are siddhis that can actually be done. But certain things are there that you should leave in the hands of the doctor. Might be he came in that way. ये क्यों? क्योंकि that's the way it is. Can't we heal? Do you want to test? So that's how the things are. You have to understand. That's what I say. The world will be the world. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Most probably I'll meet you again on next Wednesday. इतना देर तक हमारी बातों को सुनने के लिए आपका ढेर सारा धन्यवाद and see you soon again. Till then,